Salutations, my name is Summer and this is Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats, and I'm going to do my favorite fiction book tag. I'm going to try to do it. Steve Donahue was watching Olive at a book Olive, and she was doing her favorite fiction books, and I think he said she chose 7, and so it gave him the idea for this tag. And so I watched Steve's video. And of course, he had to make all these rules that made it so hard on me. So anyway, his rules are you have to list 10 books. They all have to be written in the 21st century. They could be in any order, but your favorite book has to be your first choice book. And also, which is the easiest, I think, and the most unique, you have to link one of your books with whoever's video you watched, one of their books. And I think that's pretty easy because most books that people love, I could see how there's a lot of connections. You know, a lot of people love the same things or they love certain topics. The hardest thing for me was the 21st century. Every book I was picking up that I thought, oh, I love this book. It's a favorite. It's a favorite. So I had a stack. And once I started checking them, they were 97, 98. It's like, Steve, you're killing me. So I got my stack. They were all 21st century. And then I remembered, they're fiction. I have a bunch of nonfiction here. You have to have fiction. So I had to go back through and then, so yeah, because of Steve. All right, so, and I will link Olive and Steve's channel down below. Okay, so I'm great at breaking rules, Steve. I have to tell you, I am the 11th book, because I have to mention this book. I just can't go without talking about favorite books. And this one would have been linked to Steve's #1 book, which was Two Boys Kissing, which I have not read. Anyway, I Know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb. This has been my favorite book that I have read this year. It has Two Boys Kissing was about a lot of things, I'm sure, but when I went on Goodreads and checked it out, it's about 2 boys kissing, and then AIDS was mentioned. And this book, there are some things about homosexuality, and AIDS is mentioned in this book. But I can't use this book because it was written in 1998. 2 years. But I thought I'd mention it anyway. Okay, so I have a stack here. I'm not sure which to mention first. And I'm going to mispronounce his name, and I meant to look it up, but I'm so horrible at pronunciation. Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides, something like that. I love this book. From the very first line, I thought it was fantastic. I could see how this could happen. I think this happens maybe more than people realize because it seems like it's a taboo subject not to talk about, but this book it's fantastic. I didn't care for some of his other books. The Marriage Plot was okay. Virgin Suicides I didn't care for. Loved Middlesex. And I always want to say Michael, but I'm guessing it's Michelle. The Crimson Petal on the White, Michelle Faber. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, that's just how I am. This book, I don't know if anybody else was confused with this book. I loved the beginning of this book where there's a narrator and they are taking you. I mean, how the language speaks to you. They are actually taking you on this journey through this dark alley. You can feel the nitty-grittiness of it. And I love that. I also love, the time and everything. But then something happens in the book where that goes away. And then it just becomes a story of, I want to say sugar. Yeah, sugar and this guy who wants to take care of her and his daughter and his wife who you got to have sympathy for that wife. Anyway, yeah. And I feel like at the end it kind of went back to how the beginning was a little bit, like the feel of it, but it never went back to let how it started. Like let me take you on this journey. Like follow me. I'll take you. I'll show you. I'll tell you about this story. I mean, oh, the beginning is like so enticing and then I don't know what happened. It's two different books almost. But I did love it. I just wish that it would have had more of that how it was in the beginning. Okay, Unsaid by Neil Abramson. This is a great book. It's about a woman passing and pretty much her you're finding out her story and the things that she should have well, you can't say should have because you really don't know what people should do. I mean, that's it's their life. But there was things that in her past that she regretted doing. I my neighbor is like suddenly mowing. I hope it doesn't bother you guys too much. Anyway, there's this there's things that she left unsaid that she should have probably told her partner. So it's you finding out that story and anyway, it's a great book. I just got another book by him, and it's about animals getting a virus and I thought, "Oh, that's going to be good," but I forget what it's called. Kushal's Chosen by Jacqueline Carey. Jacqueline Carey. I think that's right. Also, the main character, I always call her Fedri, and I believe it's Fedra. This is the second book in a trilogy. The first one's Kushal's Dart, and then the third one is Kushal's Avatar. I love this trilogy. Absolutely love it. It's about Fedra. I believe that's right. She's sold as a child and as an indentured servant. So that means she's got to work this off. And as she's working this off, I don't know if you can really see that on her back. As soon as that is filled, I forget what they call that, but as soon as her tattoo on her back is filled in, it means she's free. So it's like a sign. It's a sign of freedom, whatever. But the thing about her is that she has a scarlet mote in her left eye. And so they believe that she doesn't feel pain the way that other people feel pain, that for her pain is always mixed with pleasure and vice versa. So you could just imagine the things that she has been sold. She was actually sold to a really, I think he was a really nice man. But she becomes a spy for him, and she chooses to do these things, but she is an indentured servant. So you're thinking, like, how you want to make who's taking care of you happy. So I don't know. There's that to it. But I love the trilogy. Circling the Sun by Paula McLean. McLean. I'm probably mispronouncing all of these names. I love this book. I also love The Paris Wife, which is about Ernest Hemingway's wife. I think his second. Maybe it was about his first. Maybe they're just both mentioned. But it was a really good book too. This book is about. I'm going to mispronounce her name. I want to say Burl Markham, who was an amazing woman. She was raised in Africa. She's very independent, has that wild nature. She would fly planes. She did all kinds of things that she was ahead of her time. She did a lot of things that women weren't allowed to do, really. So she just did what she wanted. Beautiful book, absolutely beautiful. 100 Pieces of Me by Lucy Dillon. I like Lucy Dillon. She has that. Oh, when you're down and out and you want something light yet heartfelt, she's really good. This is about, I'm not sure if she's going through a divorce, but she's going through a breakup, and I believe it's a divorce. But she's having to choose, okay, what's worth fighting over, these material things that we're having to separate, what's worth fighting for, honestly. So she chooses 100 pieces, which sounds like a lot, but when you look around your home and the things that you have, anyway, it's a great book, and there is a greyhound in it. So the cover did not lie. There's a sweet greyhound. The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein. It's a great book. I don't know anybody who has read it who hasn't cried. It's told in the story of, I want to say Enzo, I believe was his name. I read this a long time ago when it first came out, probably. But yeah, it's told from the dog's story. And it's a tearjerker. Patrick Melrose by Edward St. Aubin. So this edition has 5 novels in it, but really I feel like they're novellas. I've only read the first 3. I am not for sure why I love these books so much. I still have to read Mother's Milk and At Last, but I read Bad News, Nevermind, and there's another one. These deal with a lot of hard subjects. I'm not sure why I love it, but I love the writing. Once I start reading one, I can't put it down. There's just something that calls to me about these stories. So I'm hoping to finish the last 2 this year. I'm hoping to finish a lot of things and read a ton of stuff. Okay, so the last book I want to share. Oh, shoot. I'm not sure which one's my favorite. Sorry, Steve. My favorite is the first one that I'm not allowed to use. But this is my link. I guess Olive this was one of her favorite fiction books, and it's one of my favorite fiction books also, the 21st Century. The Signature of All Things by Elizabeth Gilbert. I've heard a lot of people complain about Elizabeth Gilbert. I'm not sure what their hang up is about her, but I also read City of Girls, and I love that also. I love the women in her books. I love the story about, learning about the plans, and I love that the main character is not beautiful, but still has these desires. Because in a lot of books, they don't talk about that, but she talks about women's desires in a way like, yeah, that's how it is. So it was a great, great book. So I don't know. I loved all of them. They were all favorites. I think that was it. And I will link Steve's video down below and Olive's. I still need to watch hers. Yeah, so anyway, if you watch this, you are tagged. I hope you have an easier time at finding your favorite fiction books of the 21st century. And let me know if you do this tag, because I'd love to watch your video, or just comment down below if you want to tell me if you don't have a channel and you want to tell me what your favorite books are, or if there's any kind of link or, yeah, anything you want to tell me. So I hope you guys all have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.